On the high courts of the Vaith Dominion, 1,000 alien delegates gathered in a hall of marble and firelight. They towered, glittered, or hissed, each representing species older and prouder than humanity could ever claim. And when the human envoy, Ambassador Lyra Sullen, stepped onto the floor, they laughed. Not openly, not cruelly, but with the smug certainty that humanity was the runt of the stars. Too fragile, too emotional, too young. What place could Earth's child have among civilizations that had ruled the galaxy for millennia? Their scorn was sharpened by the presence of the Dominion's guardians, dragons, vast, scaled beasts that slumbered in the shadows of the chamber, wings folded like thunderclouds, eyes glowing with ancient fire. To the Vaith, the dragons were sacred, bound by tradition and bloodline to obey no voice but theirs. Even to speak of addressing them was blasphemy. To suggest a human could do so was laughable. So when Lyra stood among the titans of the galaxy, her voice steady but her shoulders heavy with their ridicule, she asked the question that silenced them all. "May I speak to your dragons?" At first the chamber erupted in jeers. The Vaith High Speaker sneered. "The beasts do not answer to outsiders, least of all a human." Others chuckled darkly, eager to see the ambassador humiliated further. But Lyra did not falter. She walked toward the shadows where the dragons lay, her steps echoing across marble. Guards shifted uneasily. The chamber grew tense. And then, to the astonishment of every delegate, one of the dragons lifted its massive head and opened a golden eye. Lyra bowed, not with fear but with reverence. She did not bark commands. She did not posture. She whispered, words no translator could catch, words drawn not from authority but from empathy. The hall strained to hear. What could she possibly be saying? And then, impossibly, the dragon answered. Its wings unfurled with a crash of air, its roar shaking the stone. Delegates cried out in terror, scrambling from their seats. But the dragon did not attack. It lowered its head to the human ambassador, exhaling heat that shimmered around her like sunlight. And in that gesture, in that impossible act of recognition, the galaxy changed. The Vaith High Speaker stammered, his voice shaking. They do not obey humans." But the truth was undeniable. The dragons had listened, not to power, not to bloodline, but to the simple, unguarded voice of a human who dared to treat them not as weapons, not as beasts, but as living, thinking beings. Lyra spoke again, and this time the translator caught her words. "They have always understood you. You have simply forgotten how to understand them." Silence followed. The dragons, once symbols of Vaith supremacy, shifted restlessly, eyes gleaming as if seeing the truth for the first time. And the other delegates, long accustomed to mocking humanity as weak, realized the weakness had been their own arrogance. From that day forward, negotiations in the Dominion were never the same. Lyra became the first outsider to be recognized as a voice of dragons, a title older than the stars themselves. Treaties once thought impossible were signed under her watch. Enemies became allies, drawn together by the simple revelation that power was not control, but connection. And the galaxy never mocked humanity again, because they understood now what made Earth's children dangerous. Not their weapons, not their fleets, not their science, but their ability to reach across barriers no one else dared to cross, to see minds where others saw monsters, to listen where others commanded, to speak not to power but to hearts, whether they beat in human chests or in the titanic bodies of dragons. The Vaith thought they had shamed her. Instead, she taught them. And the dragons, eternal and fireborn, bowed to the smallest voice in the chamber.